Rachel has asked me to talk to you about my present spiritual life, and I'm daring to do that now. Probably like many of you, I've found that my concepts of God have evolved and become increasingly abstract over the years. From my early teens, I, of course, first lost the image of God as a bearded man on a heaven-placed throne. But then I increasingly questioned and finally lost my belief in the divinity of Christ. And most recently, I found myself struggling even with the idea of a personal God. This most recent change has left me feeling adrift to an extent and struggling with the loss of my connection with some of our church theology. In spite of my present struggles, though, I want to share with you that what endures for me at this time is my sense that there are indicators all around me of what we call the Spirit. I believe that the Spirit has shown itself in the evolution of our world and of us, that it has pulled us from the primordial mud to the miraculous place that we find ourselves today, that it can be seen in all our achievements, in our consciousness, and in the triumph of life itself over all that life has to throw at us. The lesson to me in the image of Christ's resurrection is that the power of Spirit is above our feeble understanding. I've seen it in my resurrection after times that I've told myself that I would just die if something fearful happened to me. My conclusion is that the Spirit inside of us, shrouded in mystery as it is, makes us much bigger than what we can imagine on this side of our own crosses. And the image of God that I have, one that comes from our own Bob Russell, is that God is somehow the author of that Spirit. I have an active spiritual practice these days. It's a combination of verbalized prayer plus meditations in the Buddhist tradition. In my newly acquired retired status, I have time now on most mornings to do what Buddhists call mindfulness meditation, followed by a shorter period of what they call loving kindness meditations, and followed by verbal prayer in our own Christian tradition. To me, the mindfulness practice is a kind of eat my vegetables exercise in presence and in non-judgment, while the loving kindness meditations and verbalized prayers are means of dwelling in heart-filled places. In my verbalized prayer, I personify the Spirit by addressing it and praying to it. And I simply allow that I have no sense of how this can involve a personal relationship with someone outside of me. And I entertain the possibility that it's appropriate that I allow this to remain totally mysterious. So why do I think I do this? Well, to begin with, I think that my comfort with this practice might stem from prayer sessions long ago with my grandmother, which I somewhat reluctantly endured back then. I think that my motivation now and over the years has come from my need to deal with my trials, to deal with negative self-talk, and to deal with the anxiousness that can arise lots of days in dealing with all the tasks and choices that I have to make. I feel the need to plant myself spiritually each day before taking on the decisions of the day, and the need to establish my spiritual foundation before I listen to any of the self-talk that my mind throws at me. And now, the actual results of this practice have added to my motivation. As might be expected, I've found that in praying, I've had to confront and more clearly understand what's true for me. But moreover, and the miracle of miracles, at the end of most of my meditation and prayer times, I feel a palpable calmness, a heart that's light and open, and the sense that my choices for the day just might be good enough. These results keep me going. So next I need to learn how to maintain this state throughout the day, and also to see how I do the next time I face a big life challenge.